Have you ever noticed that the more you share, the more complicated things can become? It's natural to want to be open with family, to let them in on every detail of our lives. But sometimes, the key to a peaceful and stress-free life after 65 isn't in telling everything. It's in knowing what to keep to yourself. Think about it. Have you ever mentioned a small financial decision, only to have a well-meaning relative offer opinions, advice, or even judgment? Or maybe you've shared a minor health concern, and before you know it, your children are insisting on doctor's appointments, treatments, or lifestyle changes you never asked for. While these reactions may come from a place of love, they can also create unnecessary worry, tension, and even a sense of losing control over your own life. At this stage, you deserve peace. You've spent years making decisions, building wisdom, and learning what works best for you. And part of maintaining that independence is knowing when to share and when to keep things private. Holding back certain details isn't about being secretive, it's about protecting your dignity, avoiding unnecessary stress, and preserving family harmony. That's exactly what we're going to talk about today. There are 5 key things you may want to think twice about sharing too openly with family. These are things that, if kept private or shared only when necessary, can help you maintain control over your life, reduce conflict, and even strengthen your relationships. Some of them may surprise you, but by the end of this video, you'll understand why keeping certain matters to yourself can actually lead to a happier, more peaceful retirement. Before we begin, if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you do so and turn on the bell so you don't miss any of our future videos. We bring you practical, expert-backed insights to help you navigate life after 65 with confidence. And while you're here, I'd love to hear from you. Do you think seniors should keep some things private from family? Drop a comment below and share your thoughts. Now, let's get into it. Here are 5 things you may want to keep to yourself for the sake of your peace, your independence, and your happiness. Number 1. Your full financial situation. Money is a sensitive topic, no matter how old we are. But after 65, it becomes even more important to handle financial matters with care, especially when it comes to family. While openness and honesty are valuable in relationships, sharing too much about your financial situation can sometimes lead to unintended stress, conflict, or even pressure to provide financial support. Picture this. John, a 70-year-old retiree, has done well for himself. Over the years, he saved diligently, invested wisely, and built a comfortable financial cushion for his retirement. Proud of his efforts, he shares the details with his adult children, how much he has in savings, his investments, and even his monthly income. At first, they are happy for him, but over time, something changes. His son, who has been struggling financially, begins asking for small loans. His daughter hints at how much she and her family could use help with their mortgage. John, being a loving father, agrees to help where he can. But soon, the requests become more frequent. The pressure builds, and before long, he feels more like a financial safety net than an independent retiree. The money he worked hard to secure for his own future now feels like an open resource for others. Now, consider Mary, another senior in a similar financial position. Unlike John, she chooses to keep her exact financial situation private. She shares general information with her family, enough to assure them she's doing well, but she doesn't disclose specific numbers. When financial topics come up, she stays neutral and avoids discussions that could lead to expectations or obligations. If a family member asks for financial help, she considers it carefully but doesn't feel pressured to reveal her full situation. Because of this, she enjoys a sense of financial independence and avoids the stress that can come from feeling responsible for others' financial problems. This is the difference between financial transparency and financial discretion. While it's important to have a plan and ensure your affairs are in order, it's equally important to protect yourself from unnecessary stress or expectations. The more details you share, the more opinions, requests, and even conflicts can arise. One of the best ways to maintain financial security while avoiding unnecessary involvement from family is to have a clear and legally sound plan. If you haven't already, consider working with a financial planner or attorney to create a will, designate beneficiaries, and outline how your assets will be managed. This ensures that when the time comes, your financial matters will be handled exactly as you wish, without the need for ongoing discussions or decisions that could create tension. Another important step is choosing a trusted person, whether a professional or a responsible family member, to manage financial affairs if needed. However, even in this case, it's wise to share only the information necessary for them to carry out their role when the time comes. Not every family member needs to know every financial detail. Setting boundaries around money is also key. If family members ask about your finances, you don't have to provide direct answers. A simple response like, "I have what I need, and I've made plans for the future," is enough. If someone asks for financial help, it's okay to say no. You are not obligated to provide financial support, no matter how much you care about your loved ones. If you do choose to help, consider doing so in a way that doesn't create expectations for ongoing support, such as giving a one-time gift instead of a loan or ongoing assistance. Money should be a source of security, not stress. And keeping certain details private doesn't mean you're hiding something. It means you're protecting your independence and ensuring that your retirement remains yours to enjoy, free from pressure or obligation. Number 2. Your health concerns, to some extent. Health is a natural concern as we age, and it's understandable to want support from family. But there's a fine line between keeping loved ones informed and unintentionally causing them unnecessary worry. While major health conditions should absolutely be discussed with doctors and a trusted family member, constantly sharing every ache, pain, or concern can lead to over-involvement, loss of independence, and even anxiety, for both you and your loved ones. Imagine Robert, a man in his late 60s who means well but tends to vocalize every small discomfort. A slight headache, a sore knee, or even just feeling tired, he shares it all with his adult children. At first, they listen with concern, offering advice and encouragement. But over time, their concern turns into constant check-ins, urging him to see specialists, change his diet, or even adjust his daily routine. They mean well, but their growing involvement makes Robert feel like he's losing control over his own health decisions. Eventually, even minor issues turn into stressful family discussions, and he starts feeling more like a patient than an independent adult. Now consider Susan. She also faces the typical health challenges that come with aging, but she handles them differently. Instead of discussing every minor discomfort, she keeps a personal health journal, tracking any ongoing symptoms and bringing them up with her doctor when needed. She has designated a trusted person as her healthcare proxy in case of emergencies, ensuring that the right steps will be taken if something serious happens. When it comes to her family, she shares the important updates, things they genuinely need to know, but she doesn't bring them into every minor concern. As a result, she remains in control of her own health while avoiding unnecessary worry from those around her. Taking care of yourself doesn't mean you have to announce every concern. Some issues are temporary, and discussing them too often can lead to family members seeing you as more fragile than you really are. If you're dealing with ongoing health concerns, keeping a private log of symptoms can help you track changes and provide clear information when speaking with your doctor, without feeling the need to report every little thing to your family. Having a healthcare plan in place is also important. If there comes a time when decisions need to be made on your behalf, having a designated healthcare proxy ensures that someone you trust is making those choices, not multiple family members with different opinions. This prevents unnecessary stress and keeps your wishes at the center of any medical decisions. Communication with family should be open but measured. If a health issue truly requires their support, it's good to be honest and let them know. But for minor concerns, it's often best to handle them privately unless they turn into something more serious. This allows you to maintain independence while also protecting your family from unnecessary stress. Keeping certain aspects of your health to yourself isn't about hiding anything. It's about managing your own well-being without creating extra worry. By choosing what to share and when, you ensure that your health remains in your control, allowing you to focus on staying active, independent, and at peace. Number 3. Your true opinions on family matters. Family relationships can be complicated, especially as roles shift with age. After decades of experience, it's natural to have strong opinions about how things should be handled, whether it's how your children raise their kids, how they manage their finances, or even how they handle their relationships. But expressing those opinions too openly, especially when they aren't asked for, can sometimes create tension rather than harmony. Grandpa Joe is a perfect example. He loves his family deeply and only wants what's best for them. But every time he visits his son and daughter-in-law, he can't help but comment on their parenting. If the kids are watching too much TV, he mentions how in his day, children played outside. If they're being disciplined, he chimes in about how things should be handled differently. Over time, these comments start to wear on his daughter-in-law. She feels criticized, even though Joe insists he's just trying to help. Slowly, she starts to feel uncomfortable around him, and visits become less frequent. Joe doesn't understand what went wrong. All he wanted was to share his wisdom, but he doesn't realize that his constant advice, even if well-intended, is pushing his family away. Then there's Grandma Linda. She, too, has opinions on how things should be done, but she takes a different approach. When she sees something she disagrees with, she bites her tongue and reminds herself that every generation has its own way of doing things. If her daughter asks for parenting advice, she offers it gently, saying things like, "This worked for me, but I know every child is different." If a family disagreement arises, she listens without inserting her own judgments. Because of this, her children and grandchildren feel comfortable around her, knowing they won't be met with criticism or unsolicited advice. Not every thought needs to be spoken aloud, especially when it comes to family matters. Instead of offering direct criticism, phrases like, "I trust your judgment," or, "You know what's best for your family," can go a long way in maintaining peace. This reassures loved ones that you respect their decisions while keeping your relationship strong. For moments when you truly need to express your feelings, finding a trusted friend or keeping a personal journal can be helpful. Writing down your thoughts allows you to process them without causing unnecessary conflict. It provides an outlet for frustrations while keeping your relationships intact. At the end of the day, the goal is to create a peaceful and drama-free environment. Families thrive when they feel supported rather than judged. Choosing when to speak and when to hold back is a powerful skill that not only preserves relationships but also ensures that your presence is always associated with warmth and understanding. Some battles aren't worth fighting, and sometimes, silence is the best way to keep a family close. Number 4. Past mistakes or regrets. Everyone has moments in life they wish they could change. Whether it's a decision made in youth, a missed opportunity, or a family matter handled differently than it should have been, regrets are a natural part of looking back. But as much as sharing experiences can provide wisdom, openly revealing deep regrets or past mistakes can sometimes do more harm than good, especially when it involves family. Barbara, a woman in her late 60s, carries a secret from her past. Feeling the weight of it, she decides to confide in her adult son, telling him about a difficult choice she made decades ago that he had never known about. She expects relief from finally getting it off her chest, but instead, she notices a change in him. He seems distant, unsure of how to process this new information about his mother. What she saw as an honest moment of connection, he sees as a burden, something that alters how he views his family and even his own childhood. Their relationship is never quite the same again. Mark, on the other hand, has also made mistakes in his past, but he approaches them differently. When he shares wisdom with his children or grandchildren, he does so in a way that focuses on the lessons learned rather than the regret itself. Instead of saying, "I wish I had done things differently," he says, "One thing I've learned in life is that making decisions with a clear mind leads to better outcomes." He passes down his experiences without weighing his family down with guilt or sadness. Because of this, his loved ones gain the benefit of his wisdom without the emotional burden of his past. The way we frame our past matters. Dwelling on regrets can be heavy not just for us, but for those who hear them. While it's natural to want to be open, some things are best left as personal reflections rather than family discussions. Instead of reliving mistakes, finding ways to share lessons in a constructive and uplifting manner keeps the focus on growth rather than regret. For those with deeper unresolved issues, it can be helpful to speak to a professional or write in a private journal rather than sharing with family. This allows for reflection and healing without creating unnecessary tension or discomfort for loved ones. The past cannot be changed, but the way we carry it forward is within our control. Choosing to focus on wisdom rather than regret allows for a lighter, more positive connection with those we care about. Some stories are better left in the past, while others can be reshaped into guidance that benefits future generations. The key is knowing which is which. Number 5. Your long-term care plans, until necessary. Thinking about the future is important, especially when it comes to long-term care. But sharing too many details too soon can create unnecessary worry, stress, or even unintended family interference. While it's essential to have a plan, constantly discussing it before it's necessary can take away from enjoying the present and may even lead to family members making decisions on your behalf before you're ready. Anna, a 72-year-old woman, wants to be prepared. She frequently brings up assisted living options and future care plans with her children, mentioning different facilities, potential in-home caregivers, and financial considerations. At first, her children appreciate her openness, but over time, these conversations become overwhelming. They start to feel pressured, as if decisions need to be made immediately, even though Anna is still active and independent. The more she talks about it, the more they worry, wondering if she knows something they don't, or if they should be making arrangements now. What started as responsible planning turns into unnecessary stress for everyone involved. Bill, on the other hand, has also thought about his future. He's created a clear plan for his long-term care, ensuring that his financial and legal affairs are in order. However, he doesn't feel the need to bring it up constantly. He keeps the details documented and shares them only with a trusted individual who will handle things when the time comes. He reassures his family that he's taken care of everything but doesn't burden them with ongoing discussions. This allows him to maintain control over his future without creating unnecessary concern or debate. Having a written plan in place is one of the best ways to prepare for long-term care without causing stress. Whether it includes assisted living, in-home care, or other options, documenting your wishes ensures that your future is secure without needing to have constant conversations about it. Choosing a trusted person, whether a family member, attorney, or executor, to have access to these plans when needed provides peace of mind without disrupting daily life. Timing is everything. Discussing long-term care when it becomes relevant, rather than years in advance, helps avoid unnecessary worry. When the moment comes to make changes, approaching the conversation calmly and with clear information makes it easier for everyone involved. Planning for the future doesn't mean sacrificing the present. While it's responsible to have a strategy in place, allowing yourself to enjoy independence and peace without over-discussing future care ensures that both you and your loved ones can focus on living fully in the moment. As we get older, maintaining peace, independence, and strong family relationships becomes more important than ever. While honesty and openness are valuable, there are certain aspects of life that, when kept private, can actually lead to a more stress-free and harmonious experience. Setting these boundaries is not about secrecy, it's about self-care. Keeping certain aspects of life private allows for dignity, independence, and a more peaceful family dynamic. It also prevents unnecessary stress, misunderstandings, and conflicts that can arise from oversharing. If this video gave you a fresh perspective on setting boundaries for a more peaceful life, don't forget to hit the like button. Your support helps more people find these important insights, and sharing this video with someone who might benefit can make a real difference in their life too. Also, if you haven't subscribed yet, now is the perfect time. Join our growing community where we share expert advice on senior living, longevity, and maintaining independence. By subscribing and turning on the notification bell, you'll always stay updated with valuable tips designed to help you live smarter, healthier, and happier. At the end of the day, protecting your peace is one of the greatest gifts you can give yourself. Setting healthy boundaries doesn't mean shutting people out, it means ensuring that your relationships remain strong, your independence stays intact, and your well-being comes first. Thank you for spending your time with us today. We appreciate each and every one of you, and we look forward to sharing more insights in our next video. Take care, stay strong, and remember, you deserve a life filled with peace and happiness. See you in the next one.